A life of crime is not all it is cracked up to be. There are inconsistent hours, no dental, and the stigma of screwing over your fellow man. And to top it all off, crime is actually harder than it looks. Not everyone is cut out for a life in the shadows, as evidenced by many of the insalubrious characters who are featured on this list. Sometimes, life has a way of telling you to take your genes out of the gene pool. If you are the man who got himself stuck in a chimney mid-burglary or the twosome who locked themselves in a janitor's closet while trespassing, you might want to rethink your enterprising career in crime. Nonetheless, these simple-minded reprobates offer civilized society a chuckle and teach kids about the perils of crime. Number 5. Self-incarceration in a closet. A couple of trespassers had 48 hours of soul-searching after accidentally ensnaring themselves in a Daytona State College closet. In 2014, John Arwood and Amber Campbell spent 2 days trapped in the school closet before eventually calling 911. When the police found the infamous and inescapable closet, located in the college's Marine and Environmental Science Center, they discovered that the door was unlocked the whole time. Upon inspecting the pair's DIY prison, officers found copper scouring pads and mounds of feces. As pointed out by the Orlando Sentinel, copper scouring pads are often used as filters in makeshift crack pipes. However, officers could find no trace of drugs. Then they looked at both the inside and outside of the door to work out what had happened. The bemused rescuers could not fathom any way the pair could have locked the door. The humiliation of defecating in a janitor's closet was, seemingly, entirely avoidable. Both Arwood and Campbell were charged with trespassing. Campbell was also charged with violating the terms of her probation. It turned out that the 25-year-old had previously tangled with the law. In 2013, she had escaped from a mental health facility in Daytona Beach. Officers detained the troubled woman and placed her in the back of a police vehicle. Unwisely, cops loosened her cuffs and opened a car window after Campbell complained of breathing difficulties. She escaped again and made a mad dash for the nearby woods. During the chase, Campbell repeatedly assaulted one of her pursuers. She was given the stun gun treatment and rearrested on multiple charges. Number 4. The Chimney Sweep. In 2017, a bumbling burglar was left red-faced after getting stuck in a chimney. Keith Schultz, no doubt implementing an Ocean's 11-inspired robbery plan, tried to gain access to the California home through the chimney. Alice, the nearly infallible scheme played out like a scene from The Pink Panther. The man's partner in crime panicked and tried to break into the house to set Schultz free. This tripped the property's security alarm, alerting the police to the robbery. At that exact moment, a woman called local police and told them that her friend was lodged in a chimney. Officers at the Ridgecrest Police Department, not lacking common sense, saw that both addresses matched. It became painfully clear what was happening. Firefighters plucked the 28-year-old delinquent from his skull-covered tomb. After a quick checkup in the hospital, Schultz was handed over to Bakersfield Jail and charged with first-degree burglary. The man's suit-smeared face made for a timeless mugshot. The authorities have yet to apprehend his wily accomplice, who fled the scene before the cops arrived. Number 3. The Evidence Trail. It is pretty remarkable what crime scene investigators and forensics specialists can extract from a crime scene. Whether detectives discover DNA-packed skin cells or deploy sniffer dogs to detect a crook's distinctive scent, law enforcement officials have an arsenal of tools at their disposal. On some occasions, however, investigators can simply follow a literal trail of evidence to the absent-minded criminal's doorstep. It was 2008. A battered and bruised vending machine stood half empty at the Arlington Recreation Center in Minnesota. Shards of its glass belly now decorated the floor. St. Paul police officers were quick to react. A fleeting investigation revealed that the famished thieves had used a chair to break into the snack dispenser. But there was something else: a trail of Cheetos. In the early hours of the morning, the beady-eyed cops followed the Cheetos trail to a nearby home. With the help of an eyewitness, the police gate-crashed the Cheetos party and seized the ill-gotten snacks. This was no isolated case, however. In 2015, 3 burglars looted the Build-A-Burger restaurant in Livingston County, New York. The group swiped a cash register, parts of the store's CCTV system, and a bowl of macaroni salad. The Livingston County Sheriff's Office said that the team discovered parts of the cash register and surveillance equipment alongside rubber gloves, loose change, and a steady trail of macaroni salad. According to a statement, the perpetrators took turns eating along their escape route. Suspects Matthew Sapetko, James Morello, and Timothy Walker Jr. were apprehended and charged with a variety of offenses, including third-degree burglary. Number 2. The $360 billion check. A Texas man strolls into a bank. Donning his serious business face, he tells himself that this is the day he bags $360 billion. While aspiring to become the richest man on the planet, Charles Ray Fuller devised his own get-rich-quick scheme. He was to walk up to a teller in a Fort Worth bank and hand over a check for $360 billion. And in 2008, that is exactly what he did. To put that into perspective, $360 billion rivals the annual revenue of most Fortune 500 companies. Employees at the Chase Bank branch raised a quizzical brow and made contact with the check's supposed author, Paula Prettyman. But Prettyman, his partner's mother, confirmed that she had not issued the check, bringing Fuller's dreams crashing down around his ears. The 21-year-old had hoped to use the bogus check to start his own record company. Blinded by such dizzying ambition, Fuller made a series of blunders that only compounded the situation. When the police arrived, they discovered that he was also in possession of marijuana and a handgun. A year earlier, a man in Pittsburgh tried to use a $1 million bill to pay for supermarket goods. As you would expect, he asked for change. When the Giant Eagle store manager confiscated the fake note, the belligerent customer took his anger out on store equipment. A North Carolina man, Michael Fuller, attempted the same stunt at a local Walmart in 2012. Fuller, not believed to be related to Charles Ray Fuller of the $360 billion check scheme, was arrested after trying to use the counterfeit $1 million bill to buy electrical equipment. In 2004, a woman in Georgia tried to buy over $1,600 worth of items with a fake note. She also hoped that Walmart workers would break $1 million, amounting to over $998,000 in change. Alice Pike pleaded ignorance, saying she genuinely believed that the bill was real. "You can't keep up with the U.S. Treasury," lamented Pike. Number 1. Sleeping Beauty. Understandably, the criminal class consists of a sleepy bunch. The job is physically demanding, the police are always hunting them down, and the work is rather stressful. So it comes as little surprise when these pilfering prowlers fall asleep on the job. This is precisely what happened to one exhausted intruder after successfully breaking into a house in Glasgow, Scotland. The surprised occupants returned to find their very own burglar, dozing and covered in Doritos. According to the local police, the hungry thief also consumed half a pie. Sleeping on the job. We all feel tired when we start a shift. A thief who started his shift at 2345 yesterday was no different. He broke into a house on Corsewall Street, decided on a pit stop, ate half a pie and fell asleep covered in Doritos. He woke up in cuffs. Fingerlickengood, tweeted Monkland's police. Reports of burglars falling asleep in their victims' homes are not uncommon. In 2014, Christopher Probuzek was charged with burglary after falling asleep in somebody else's Houston home. Kevin Connolly woke up at around 4:00 a.m. to catch a flight, only to discover Probuzek slumbering in his guest room. Connolly also found that a number of his personal possessions were missing. He tried waking the sleeping beauty but to no avail. While he waited for the cops to arrive, the Houston resident even took snaps of his intruder. Connolly speculated that the little Van Winkle had made several trips to his house before succumbing to fatigue. The stolen items turned up on the thief's porch along with a half-empty bottle of alcohol, a guitar, clothing, an iPad, and the ashes of Connolly's dead dog. Always with the ashes were among the retrieved items. To an insult to injury, Probuzek was wearing one of Connolly's coats. Cheeky.